Hello.
Hello.
How are we?
You know, your division couldn't be in a hotter place right now, but I feel like you might have the advantage in that you're going last after last week. Would you feel the same in that you get to leave the lasting impression on the bosses at the UFC to get that Islam fight?
I don't think it's the advantage of me being last. I think it's me being the best and the most interesting. I think the guys did a great job last week and they did what they needed to do. However, I believe I am the deciding factor in what happens for the rest of the division. Islam winning the belt means that he's the champion of the world. We need a number one contender. When you beat number one and you knock out number one in the fashion that I believe I'm going to do it in, there's nothing else. I'm next.
You are notorious at this point for taking on the strongest challenges at any point. Having someone like Islam as the gold at the end of the rainbow for you to be chasing, how much does that motivate you?
Dude, I said this to you guys 6 months ago. If Islam Makhachev wants to come up to the welterweight division, everybody takes a step back and gives the pound for pound king the respect he deserves. That respect has to then be returned. When you come to the division and you achieve the success that you wanted to achieve, and you succeed in getting to your dreams, then you need to also be the man to back it up and fight the best welterweights on the planet. He's calling out Kamaru Usman. That's a has-been. Someone who used to be, not is right now. When you've got the likes of me, Morales, Practice, all of us contending to be the next best thing in this division, there's no question. When I knock out Belal this weekend, I'm the number one contender, and the right thing to do is to defend the belt against me.
You're a confident man, and I know you're confident in every area of MMA, but when you're hearing Belal says he's going to come out and strike with you, that must make you feel a little bit more excited about this knockout you're predicting.
I don't believe it. I think he's talking out his arse. I don't believe it for a second.
I mean, having said that, though, he did go out and try and strike with Jack, right? Maybe he's these Canelo hands.
Yeah, come on, mate. Let's be real. I don't even want to engage it because I don't believe it. Like, it's more like I think he's... How do I word this correctly? I think he's trying to use some sort of reverse psychology to make everyone believe it, and then he's going to come out and he's going to try grab a hold of a leg and hold on to it for dear life because he knows the second I get away from him, it's game over. But there's a couple of things. When you live, you learn, right? So you make mistakes, you learn from your mistakes. What's the mistake that he made against Jack Della Maddalena? So there's two things. Either he's thick and doesn't learn, or he genuinely believes he can strike with me. Either way, I think he's going to be an idiot if he tries to do that. Does that make sense? Without being mean towards him, but just like, be better.
He's one of these guys, right, with maybe the exception of that Jack fight, he has an exciting style on some occasions, but the people who know MMA know how good this guy is. Yeah. So for you to get this win, get him on your resume, how excited are you to have a name like Belal on that resume?
I don't necessarily care for Belal. I care that he's number one. He's the number one in the world. So when I knock out number one, I become number one, and there's no one else above number one except Islam Makhachev, the champion. That's my goal. My entire goal this weekend is to go out there and leave it undoubtable, unquestionable, undeniable that Machado Garry is the best welterweight walking the planet right now, and Islam Makhachev better back it up and challenge me for that belt.
Is there a nice little sweet X factor that he's going to be ringside this Saturday?
Is he?
Yeah.
Good. I didn't know that until now, but no. To be honest, I have nothing but respect for Islam. The body of work he's done is absolutely sensational. What he's done in the lightweight division, the fact that he's come up, he's looked sensational. I'm a competitor. I've told you guys multiple times, time after time after time again, I want to be the best in the world, and to be the best, you've got to beat the best. Islam is at the tippy top of this. So I look forward to a challenge like Islam, and the truth is, Belal's a slight warm-up for that fight because Islam is better than Belal everywhere. So this is just a perfect example of what I can do to Islam this weekend.
Okay, thanks. Ian, hey, good luck to you in your fight with Belal. But I have a question about your previous opponent. Shavkat Rahmanov was previously a title challenger, but he forced two title fights due to the injury after fight with you.
I'm glad you mentioned it, not me. I'm glad you brought it up.
Yes, yes. Do you think he deserves to be the main contender right now?
Yes, because he fought for a number one contender fight, of which he won. So, yes, I do think he has that. However, unfortunately, the best ability in this sport is availability, and if he can't be here due to injury, then things move on. The sport moves on. It doesn't wait for anybody. So that night when we fought, he fought to guarantee himself a number one contender fight, and he won it. 3 rounds to 2. So in my mind, yes, he's done enough for that. But I think when you've got me, you've got Morales, you've got Pratis, you've got Gabriel Bonfim, you've got all these guys coming up, I think it's going to be hard for him to just walk back in here and get a title shot. But my answer, in my world, I believe so.
Okay, and if you win Belal, who do you think should fight Makhachev next? You or Shavkat?
I don't think Shavkat's ready to fight soon. I don't think he's going to be back anytime soon. It would not surprise me if we don't see Belal till maybe December of next year. But 100%, when I knock out Belal Muhammad, my next fight's for a world title fight, and I'll give you a promise right now. When I win that belt, you know the name that's coming out of my mouth, and his name is Shavkat Rakhmonov.
Yes.
For sure.
Thanks.
Hi, Ian.
How are you?
Welcome to Doha.
Thank you.
What do you think about the rankings right now, where Carlos Pratis is ahead of you in the ranking, although you won him this year?
What do you think about it?
I think it's not fair, but maybe because his performance against Leon Edwards was that high, that's why he's above you?
No, I think it's ridiculous. I get it, but when 2 men have fought and I beat that guy, he should be below me. It's okay. The truth is, come this weekend, Pratis and Morales, they'll be irrelevant because I'll be number 1 in the world and I'll be next for that title.
By the way, Jack Della Maddalena is number 1, Belal is number 2. So do you think now there will be questions, are you going to fight Jack in case you win over Belal, or against the champion?
Straight to the belt.
Straight to the belt.
Yep.
Last question, because you are in Doha, first time in UFC history to be in Doha, tell us about your experience so far.
Dude, I've been here for like two weeks already. I've been to Banana Island. I've been chilling out. I rested. I relaxed. I've been here. I've loved it. This is my first time fighting outside of the US for the UFC. And one thing that I love is traveling the world and seeing different cities, different cultures, different religions, and learning and just embracing different places on the planet. And I've absolutely loved Qatar, and 100% I will come back here more. Thank you. Shukran.
Ian, hi.
Hello.
First of all, happy belated.
Thank you so
How
much.
does 28 feel?
Good. If it's as good as all my other birthdays, then I'm going to have a very good year.
Let's hope for that. Well, just to continue on that, I'm sure every camp is different, and every camp has its own vibes and like emotions attached to it. So this camp, has there been anything in particular that maybe a topic, a vibe, a theme that you would like to share, something that kind of stood out, maybe on an emotional level for you personally?
I think this fight, the main focus for me is proving to myself and to the rest of the world that I am the best welterweight walking this planet, and to leave it undeniable come Saturday night when I face Belal Muhammad.
Okay, and well, right now that the title belongs to Islam. He's the new king of the welterweight division, and
for now,
for sure. But I actually personally always enjoy the way that you break down fights and the way that you look at things stylistically and technically. So if we can, for example, maybe it's a little early to talk about it because you have a very, very formidable opponent in front of you right now. But
he's all right.
But how do you see, personally, from matchup with Islam, stylistically, what do you think? What do people maybe overlook when they think about the two of you?
I don't think people overlook anything about Islam. I think he's phenomenal. I think there's a reason he is where he is, and he has the respect that he has, and the resume that he's 16 consecutive wins in the sport is unheard of. And yeah, I like the aspect as well of breaking that streak, because when I fight him, he'll be going for 17, and I'll take that away. So that's something I would like. That's a feather in my cap I want. Islam's phenomenal. So he sticks to a southpaw stance. He looked far cleaner on the feet against Jack this fight, and I was very impressed by that. His calmness and his composure on the feet was elite compared to what I've seen. However, there are still holds that you can see. If you watch that fight and you focus on the striking, there's obvious gaps that I will absolutely take advantage of. But when he grabs a hold of your leg, he's the best in the world. He's technically beautiful with his wrestling. He's smart. He's intelligent. He doesn't do silly things or make mistakes. He does the right thing every time. And he's a dangerous submission threat. However, I don't care for any of that. I'm so intelligent. I'm so smart on the feet. I'm so elusive. I'm long. I'm tall. I'm rangy. I'm undefeated against southpaws. So when we face off, he's got to get to my leg. And he's got to be able to catch me when I'm longer and taller than anyone he's ever faced before. But also, I'm just wickedly fast. And he's never seen anyone as fast as me. He can pull in bantamweights, and they're never going to be as fast as me. I'm the fastest in the world, and that's my specialty. Is I'm just, until they stand in front of me, they think they can do something, and then their head just starts snapping back, and they don't know what to do.
Thank you, fantastic. And one more thing, if I may ask, because I think you have a very unique perspective on this. So there's a lot of talk, obviously, about Islam and his potential fight with Ilia Topuria if Ilia goes up to 170. So basically, a lot of people are voicing their opinions, but the reason why I'm asking you is because, first of all, you're a natural welterweight, and while I know that you don't mind that fight per se because it's a giant fight and stuff, but you also have a unique experience of, I believe you trained with Ilia, right? So how do you see this? Do you think how possible it is for Ilia to compete at that level?
Ilia could knock heavyweights out. We've seen that. He can knock anyone out when he touches them. I think Ilia versus Islam is the biggest fight the UFC can make, hands down, in my opinion. You've got two weight world champions. One will try go for greatness and be the first triple champ of all time. So it's an absolutely gigantic fight. Like, you cannot beat around the bush. You have to just state the obvious and understand it. However, I don't know if the UFC want to do that, because then you slow down two divisions. But is it worth it? If they're going to get the money in return and the business is there and the people want to see it, the UFC will do it. So it's an interesting topic. I don't believe they're going to do it right now. I think when you've got the likes of Sarukian and Paddy and Gaethje, they need to have that belt competed at lightweight, and Ilia needs to defend that belt. Islam just won the belt and has to fight a welterweight. Do you know what I mean? That's the way I look at it. But it absolutely is the biggest fight in the sport you could make right now. Way bigger than anything to do with John Jones and Aspinall and Pereira, in my opinion.
Early pick?
Ian, приветствую.
I think Ilia can knock anyone out. And I think he can knock anyone on the planet out.
Thank you, sir. Good luck to you on Saturday.
Иан, приветствую. Хоть сейчас 77 килограммов и находится огромное количество топов, о которых ты говорил, в том числе и ты, но при этом Ислам Махачев хочет бой с Камару Усманом. Насколько правильно будет давать Камару Усмана следующим соперником Ислама?
I wish I knew what you were saying straight off, because it sounds awesome, just so you know.
I got you, man. There's lots of stars right now in welterweight, including yourself. But the rumor has it that Islam Makhachev wants to fight Kamaru Usman next. Do you think that's a fair fight to make next?
Do I think the champion of the world, the pound for pound, one of the pound for pound best in the world, should fight a has-been? Someone who used to be great, but isn't great anymore? No. Where is he now in the rankings? Someone mentioned the rankings earlier on, 8 or 9. The last fight he had was against a guy who had like 7 losses in the UFC. No. Islam Makhachev is a phenomenal fighter. And he needs to fight one of the young, up-and-coming contenders, not a has-been who has no knees. So, that's it. End of. If I was Islam, I would want to fight Kamaru Usman too, because it's an easy paycheck, it's an easy win, it's an easy way for me to get my first title defense at welterweight. But when you've got the likes of me, firstly, if you look at the 4 main contenders right now, Shavkat, me, Patches, Morales, what do we all have in common? Long, tall, rangy, powerful, and full of youth. Way more dangerous than a guy who used to be the greatest. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Can you translate to him to make sure? But like, and make sure you give it you justify it. Like, not a million years. That to me is a cop out. You need to fight one of the up and comers, one of the guys that are hungry, that have that passion, that have not felt what it feels like to be a champion, that are driven to achieve their dreams.
Кажется ли мне, что чемпион мира, человек, который один из лучших pound for pound, должен драться с человеком, который сбитый летчик, который, я не знаю, какой у кого есть ранги здесь в UFC, ну каким он номером, 8 или каким-то таким? Конечно же нет. Человек, который, по-моему, 8 раз подряд проиграл уже в UFC. Почему он должен биться с ним? Я тебе объясню почему. Потому что это самый легкий способ для него защитить первый раз свой пояс в 170. Что есть у нас, чего нет у Узмана? Мы все, первые, например, 4 человека. Я, Пратес, Марайс, Шавкат. Что у нас есть? Мы высокие, мы молодые, мы полны сил, мы идем на победной серии, чего давно нет у Узмана. Почему бы ему не драться против нас? Потому что у нас все это есть. Нет, мне кажется, что это абсолютный абсурд, что он будет драться с кем-то, кто давно-давно сбитый летчик, вместо того, чтобы драться с теми, кто молодые, голодные, которые могут отобрать этот титул у него. Но для него это абсолютно четкий способ для того, чтобы победить и снова продолжить свою серию как чемпиона.
I should have remembered that there was someone going to translate that. I apologize, but you're very good at your job.
Еще один вопрос. Один из самых классных трендов сейчас в ММА — это противостояние Дагестана и Ирландии. Хабиб против Конора, Пол Хьюз против Усмана Нурмагомедова. Хотел бы ты его продолжить? И вот в первых 2 противостояниях был счет, получается, в пользу Дагестана. Как ты думаешь, с Исламом изменится ли он?
There is a little bit of a game right now in MMA. We got, Ireland versus Dagestan, right? We had Khabib Conor. Then we had Usman Nurmagomedov versus Hughes, right? So we got this game. Right now it's 2-0 for Dagestan. Would you be 3-0? Would you be the next one to do this, right? If you have Islam versus Garry, that would be the next one. And do you think you'll be able to pull the victory towards yourself?
100%. 100% I can win that fight. It won't be easy. He's phenomenal, and he's one of the best in the world for a reason. He knows exactly what he's doing every time. He's dangerous. But I know how good I am, and I know what I can do to a man like him, and to have his name on my resume, and to take the title from him, and to destroy that consecutive win streak is absolutely something that I want to do. But also, I'm aware our countries have history in the fight game. I'm aware we've had Conor. I'm aware we've had Paul. I'm aware we've had Islam and Khabib. Or Usman and Khabib. Me and Islam have no beef, but our countries have fighting history. So for me, it will be a very proud moment to bring that win back for my country and take that belt from Islam.
100% я уверен, что я могу противостоять ему и забрать эту победу. Я знаю, что Ислам один из самых лучших, один из лучших pound for pound. Он всегда готов, он всегда знает, что делать, он знает свою стратегию, он знает свой план. И он действительно один из лучших в мире. Но я уверен, что я могу ему противостоять и получить эту победу. Я знаю, что между нашими странами есть такое противостояние. Я знаю, что мы пока что в нем проигрываем. Для меня получить эту победу и привести ее обратно домой к себе в Ирландию, это многого будет значить. Плюс это будет невероятное просто в своей собственной карьере получить победу над таким человеком, как Исламом, остановить его победную серию. Для меня это будет очень нужно.
И заключительное от меня. Мы тебя знаем как парня, который всегда развивается, любит посещать разные кемпы в разных частях мира. Это и Америка, и Бразилия, и Европа. А вот не было ли мысли как раз поехать на Кавказ? Понятное дело, что в Дагестан, наверное, будет сложно, так как ты будешь драться, потенциально с Исламом Макхачевым. Например, в Чечню, и там как раз потренировать борьбу, которой так не хватает сейчас в чемпионских боях претендентам против бойцов с Кавказа.
We know you as a guy that likes to travel the world and join different camps. You've traveled all over the place, trained in all different places. Was there ever a thought for you to maybe go to the Caucasus, right? Maybe not Dagestan, because likely you're going to be fighting Dagestani very soon, but potentially maybe Chechnya and work on wrestling, right? Because this is something that we see in a lot of the title fights. This is the missing component.
100% it's been a thought of mine. When you look at Georgians, the Chechens, the Russians, they wrestle differently. They have a different style, a different pace, a different relentlessness about them. That absolutely, if you want to be a world-class fighter in every area of the sport, that's the place to go and learn.
Абсолютно 100% уже была такая мысль у меня, если посмотреть на Чечню, на Дагестан, даже на Грузию, то, как они борются, это совсем другое. Это то, чего нету нигде. Другой вес, другое давление. Для меня это очень важно, и я бы с удовольствием этому поучился.
Hello, Ian.
Hello, sir.
Nice to meet you here. I have 2 questions for you. The first one is, let's imagine that you have a fight with Islam Makhachev, and let's discuss the fight with Jeddah. what he do wrong in this fight, Jack Della Maddalena, and what you did different in this fight.
What did JDM do
yes,
wrong?
did wrong, yeah, this fight.
Everything. He did. I don't want to sound like mean or rude or negative towards him, but you have a fight with a guy who you know exactly what he's going to do. When you fight Islam Makhachev, you know what he's going to do. There is going to be a time where he's going to grab your leg, and when he gets you down, he's going to hold you down and do what he pleases, and you need to be able to try to defend all that. But what was Jack's plan on the feet? There was no striking. I don't remember him landing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shots. Like, I just don't remember him even landing. It just... I don't know what his plan was.
The last question for me. I don't want to be rude and mean for you, but some of the fighter, his name is Leon Edwards, say that your biggest accomplished is the loss for the Shavkat Rakhmonov. And also, I read some comments in social media networks and Instagram, something like that. The fans believe in that, genuinely. What you can answer them? And also for the Leon.
How did Leon Edwards get on last week? Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. Very lovely, right? It was a beautiful visual.
Thank you so much.
Ian here.
Boom! That head bouncing off the canvas was my Christmas present. I must call my son practice and give him a call and say thank you.
Hello, Ian.
How are you?
How about you?
I'm very good. Very happy to be
Nice.
here.
Now, we know that your son's favorite fighter is Carlos Prates. What do you need to do to become your son's favorite fighter besides you already beat him?
Nothing. We're going to fight again at some point. I've already told Pratis this. I'm going to win the belt against Islam. I'll defend it against Shavkat, and then I'll fight Pratis in Brazil. I'll beat him. I'll knock him out. I'll leave it undeniable that I'm better than him. And then what Pratis can actually do is he can sleep at night knowing that Ian Garry's just better than me. That's okay.
And what do you think about your son being so in MMA?
I love it. I never want to travel. Look, I'm a young father. I don't ever want to separate myself from my family. I do things very differently to everyone 99% of the time in my life, and I love that. I love being different. I love breaking the mold. I couldn't imagine a fight week without my wife, without my kid. I couldn't imagine that. Like, it doesn't click in my mind. Family is such a core value to me, and that love, that compassion, that care, that enjoyment that I get when I see him wake up and scream and shout and try fight me. It distracts me from everything else in the world and just goes, right, I'm a dad. Let's go. Let's play. I bought him a bike the other day from the Catalan. We've been walking the coast and cycling. It's just, there's the chaos that I love, that I thrive in, and then there's the calm. And he is my reset to calm, and he's also the person that brings me up the most as well. We go wild together, but I love that he's involved in this. I love that he gets to see my hard work, my dedication, the sacrifice. I'm teaching my kids things that I want him to have.
That's lovely. And one last for me, you mentioned Conor and the being one of the best fighters out of Ireland. The John Kavanagh say that he's 100% locked in and always training every single day. What do you think about him coming back to the fight game?
Everyone in the fight game will want to see him back, my friend. He's the biggest star the sport's ever seen. End of. I'm going to tie a record of his this weekend. When I beat Belal Muhammad, I'm going to tie Conor McGregor's record for the most wins for any Irishman in UFC history. And absolutely guaranteed with my activity and the way that I'm going, that record's going to be mine soon. So I'm excited for this.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Shukran.
Hey, Ian Prates are two contenders for the title shot right now, and you have a good friendship. If UFC offer a fight in the future, will you willing to fight again him?
Did you hear what I just said?
Sorry?
Did you hear what I just said to this man a minute ago?
No.
So I'm going to beat Belal this weekend. I'm going to knock him out, cement myself as the #1 contender. I'm then going to fight Islam Makhachev, whoever that man wants to fight me. If he wants to fight me in Dagestan and Russia, I'll see him there, right? I'm going to win that belt. I then have to go back and get what I need, which is that win of Shavkat back. So I will fight Shavkat. If he wants to do it in Kazakhstan, I'll do it in Kazakhstan. And then I'm going to go back, and I want to fight in Rio de Janeiro, against Carlos Prates. I'm going to give him an opportunity to try get that win back and fight for the belt. I'm going to knock him out. And then afterwards, I'm going to tell him, now, son, you can go to sleep, knowing that I'm just better than you. Does that make sense? And he knows it. He tells himself, I know he does. I know the type of person Patches is. Patches, man, I love you. You're cool, right? But he knows I'm better than him. He had that fight. He had 11 weeks to prepare for that fight. He was ready. He was preparing for everything. I got off the couch on 3 weeks' notice, and I beat him where he's best. He couldn't touch me. Everybody else he fought, he knocks him out unconscious. He hit me, I took it, and I was like, all right. The only bit of success he had in that fight was I made a mistake. Nothing that he did good. Go back and watch the first 4 rounds. I beat him where he's best, and I made it look easy. I barely broke a sweat doing it. So, Patches, você não gostaria de luta de novo?
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I just want to make one thing abundantly clear. Every single person in this room, every interview I've done this week, they've all been talking about people from last week. This weekend, when I knock out Belal Muhammad, I'm going to make every single other person in the welterweight division irrelevant. I am going to cement myself as the #1 contender. And Islam Makhachev, get ready. I'll see you soon. Wherever and whenever you want, we're next.